Done.
भारत भाग्य विधाता पंजाब सिंधु गुजरात मराठा द्राविड उत्कल गंगा विंध्य हिमाचल यमुना गंगा उच्चल जलधि तरंगा तव शुभ नामे जाहे तव शुभ आशीष मांगे राहे तव जय दाता जननायक जय भारत भाग्य विधाता जय हे जय हे जय हे जय हे जय हे
बोलो स्वतंत्र भारत माता की
जय।
Professor Lakshmi, Dr. Nagaraj, faculty members from both AMR APARD and Tata Institute of Social Sciences, other staff members, and my very beloved students. Independence Day celebrations in this campus had never been so colorful and delightful. It's one of the very largest attended Independence Day programs. Therefore, I am very happy to welcome you all and also to wish you a very happy Independence Day. While we should remember a large number of people who had contributed to empower this country, freed from the shackles of the British hegemony, and make Mother India breathe free air, we should also not forget that at this current juncture, we are standing at the crossroads. Crossroads because on one side we feel very proud that we belong to a country which had contributed to 1/4 of the world's gross domestic product until the year 1600. Not many people know this. Until 1600 AD, India used to contribute 1/4, 25% to the world gross domestic product. The other 1/4 used to be contributed by our neighbor, China, and the rest of all the countries put together in the world could contribute to 1/2 of the world's GDP. Rural development is welcoming you. The opportunities in rural development today are like never before. We have, in fact, a responsibility, not as a job responsibility, but as a citizen's responsibility to look up to rural India's requirements. Similarly, opportunities are also aplenty, and I'm very glad you chose the right track of being students of rural development. Look at alleviating poverty, creating employment opportunities to the crores of young men and women who are not able to find an opportunity to be, supportive to themselves. And you will have enormous chances of getting into a role and responsibility from where you can strengthen the economic wings of this country. A country which is looking forward to people like you to join. And in any case, institutions like APARD, like CDS, like NIRD are always there to look at the capacity building requirement of the elected representatives and the common people on one side. But your entry into the area of rural development as a real good soldier, like Trilochan said, is what is required today. We have seen, I was listening to the Honorable Prime Minister's Independence Day speech before I came here. Usually the Prime Minister speaks from the ramparts of Red Fort. He was on one side trying to present whatever this country had achieved in the last 9 years. And on the other side, he was also trying to brief us what is not to happen in the country is also happening, and therefore we have collectively a responsibility to look at health, education, nutrition standards, particularly the kind of sanitary conditions that are very poorly endowed in our countryside, the gender issues, the employment, drinking water problem, and the environmental issues. Therefore, APARD had started a slogan called NSGD, health, education, nutrition, sanitation, gender, drinking water, employment, and environment. These are the 8 concepts on which each one of the young boy or girl in the Tata Institute of Social Sciences would be working on. And as I said earlier, there is so much of opportunity for you today to go into the rural areas and to work. It's not just an NGO's role or a government representative's role or a government functionary's role, but it is an entrepreneur's role now waiting for you in the rural India. Therefore, on one side, I wish you all the best for completion of the kind of qualification that you are pursuing, and on the other, I look forward to a very bright future for this country, a day that would dawn in which each one of us would be proud. India, like any other developed country, is very peaceful, very powerful, and very resourceful. Well, I wish all of you to look at the country's development on one side and to contribute to that development. I wish every one of you Godspeed and well-being. Once again, I wish the 67th Independence Day best wishes to all of you, and I will take leave now. Thank you.